Welcome to Tech Talk Weekly. I'm Bob from Creation Station. This is our weekly show where we do 2 to 3 topics, something new and interesting in the news. We wrap up with some fun, cool library fact, and we bring in some guest from the library system so that you can see and meet all the different people around. This week, we have Miss Allison Grubbs, who is the Assistant Director for Broward County Library Systems. Welcome, Allison. How are you doing today?
Hi, doing very well. Thank you so much, Bob. Great to be here.
Thank you so much. So what's going on with you right now with all of the changes going into the library system, huh? Thank you for taking a few minutes out of the time for that. It's not
So,
like you have
yes,
anything else going on.
so big changes, big changes for me professionally, as I will be stepping into the acting director role in
Yeah.
the next couple of weeks. So that will be quite a difference, but still committed to, um, you know, taking care of our communities, meeting their needs, meeting our staff needs. So,
Yeah. It's going to be fun. I've been through these kind of changes before, and it's always
yes.
yeah, I don't want to talk about how many directors I've seen. I'm gonna throw up Chrome right now to grab our first story for the week. And this week the theme seems to be robots. The first one I actually want to mention is robots get everybody having to get along. So this story on Wired that came out earlier this week, in the beginning anecdote just really struck me. There's a hospital in Singapore that they have two robots that are continually blocking each other because they're so nice. They don't want to cause any problems. They're programmed to not run over other people's feet and do these things. And since they have different robots from different manufacturers, they all try to be nice to each other and they stop and they don't work. And I was like, oh my God.
Couldn't get any more
Don't you,
precious.
I know, don't you wish we can get everybody acting like this? And one of the and as we start doing more and more robots out there, throwing it up here on the screen for people so they can see, um, one of those issues is people don't lose their job to a foreigner. You're losing your job to an automated assistant, a robot or something like that, as automation really takes hold. And this shows a really good thing. And it's been only just over 6 years to double the amount of robots in the workforce. And I know we don't always think about what a robot is or whatever, but do you have any robots at home, Allison?
Of course. I have Ricky the Roomba. He is actually Ricky 2.0 for my family because
Nice.
Ricky 1.0 died a tragic death. Um, so we have
Plunging down a
that.
staircase
And,
or
it was so traumatic, we prefer not to revisit Um, he lost a battle with our dog, so who did not take favorably to
Ooh.
Ricky. So so that was how we had that genesis with our Rickies. And for stationary robotics, I would say just our smart home. We're very Amazon Alexa integrated with
Sorry
smart
for everybody out
bulbs,
there who we
smart
just outdated.
switches.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. So, yes. So I do have
it's
robots at home.
Amazon Voice Services so that we don't activate people's devices in their houses.
Oh, thank you. Yes, you're correct. I've heard some
It's
say Lexi. They call them Lexi to keep
yeah,
from
yeah.
activating them.
And it's interesting because so many of these things are out there, just like you said with the Roomba. They tingle with things that you don't fully expect. And when
Hmm.
this article was talking about how do you balance out all of the different things for who's going to get along and how are they going to communicate with each other and talking and doing. And it really does. One of the things that it highlighted for me was when you say communicating back and forth, people tend to think vocal, like, okay, I'm going to hear or see something and they're going to talk back and forth. And it's just going to be lights and infrared. And there's going to be these whole conversations going on around us that we don't even have access to because our senses can't sense what these people are doing, or we don't have the right sensors to do this. And how are we going to know if the robots are plotting and planning what? You know?
That's why you always have to say please and thank you. So
Yes. Yes. We have a Roomba at home that's a Poquinto. And apparently that is someone from a telenovela that is very nice on the
Oh.
outside, but then if you cross her, she will stab you. So I just try to be nice, and we do that.
Mhm.
The other thing about robots that was really big this week was a visit to the only planet that is entirely populated by robots. Mars has 12 different robots on it right now, I believe. I think it's 12 still in
Wow.
operation. Yeah. Some of them are just little ones, and some of them are the big monsters, like here, this picture here for the newest NASA rover that's going out there. These things are the size of SUVs. These are big
Mhm.
monster pieces, and there's 3 of them going up this right here in February. On the
Have
9th,
you seen
we've got one going in. Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to ask, I apologize for interrupting, but have you seen the
No.
video showing how it would get from Earth to Mars and how it would do the landing?
Yeah, that whole 15 minutes of terror. Yeah, and that's actually what they talk about in this article here is on the 9th, the big one's going to landing, but on the 10th, the Chinese are landing one without. They're going to, instead of doing all the other stuff, and theirs is small enough that they can put it into a capsule and just let it crash land into the planet and then unpack it and take it out. And
Yes.
I'm kind of curious, how does it unpack itself? How does it do? There's nobody there to help. Well, maybe that's why all the robots have to get along because they need another robot to help them. I don't know. But there's going to be one on the 9th, one on the 10th, and another one on the 18th, all hitting Mars from this. And that's going to bring us up to 6 countries having different robots out there operating at the same time. The big one, United States, Russia, China, but the UAE is the latest one to do it, and theirs is hitting on the 18th. So it's really interesting to see how many different people are pushing and doing. Have you paid any attention to Mars, Miss Allison?
Yes, yes. And I've seen that video that I was referencing, and it's absolutely
Yeah,
fascinating. And it's really the space race 2.0 right now. And
exactly.
so not focusing on the moon, but focusing on Mars. And it's just really captured my attention and imagination.
Did you apply for this on the St. Jude flight?
No,
Do
I
you know
did
about
not.
that?
My feet will stay firmly on terra firma.
Oh, for anyone who doesn't know, St. Jude's Hospital is running an charity auction for one seat on a suborbital flight. So it's the first all civilian flight. So if you want to take a chance at getting up into space, there's something out there for you.
Have you signed up for it?
I might have
Ah.
entered a couple of times. It looks fun. It looks interesting. I
Mhm,
definitely want. If I had the chance to get on the moon, I would. Mars might be a
mhm.
little too far off. I really do wish we were just. I mean, it's. Grr.
Right. Well, so these capsules are taking what, 3 months to get from Earth to
Yeah,
Mars? Yeah.
yeah.
So that's
It's a lot
quite
more than that
quite a
3 days, really.
journey.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and it's always going to be one way for at least for a long time going
Right.
out to Mars.
Right. It's not a situation like seen in Andy Weir's The Martian,
No,
of getting back from Mars to Earth.
that was a
So,
fun book.
yes,
That
very much so.
I still use potatoes all the time. And then one fun story that I found this week was a Braille watch.
hmm
And I think that this was really interesting on a couple of different levels. One, and I'm 90% positive. You don't know this, Miss Allison. Both of my grandparents were blind.
No,
Um,
I did
yeah.
not know this.
So they both raised two kids and then five grandkids and everything like that. So I just grew up with this expectation that you're going to be able to do anything you want. My grandfather was
Mhm.
the head of the Henry Ford Hospital X-ray lab. Um,
Wow.
he was blind. He didn't need to see to develop things. So if they didn't need lights, he can go work in a dark room with no problems.
Oh, wow.
And the funnier story is he was in charge of the neighborhood watch.
No.
Yeah, the blind
Bob.
man. He wasn't. He sat in his bedroom. I was when I was a little kid. I would sit there at the radio with him and listen to him sending people around the neighborhood because he
Oh,
knew it all, and he could just sit in in his bedroom and send people out on the radio to go make calls and stuff. It was a really good experience growing up to see that nothing's going to hold you back if you don't want it to be,
right.
which is what this watch brought a lot of those kind of memories and things back
Mm.
when I saw that yesterday. And this watch works with your smartphone, so it can take in any of your regular notifications and then spits those notifications out as braille onto the watch face. And or if you don't know how to read braille, you can have it send different coded messages however you want, which means
Okay.
you can be in a meeting and get your messages, get all of your stuff without actually hearing or seeing any notifications. So you can just be quiet in your meeting and have your fingers on your watch and be able to read and pay attention to everything. I thought it was a really nice, they call it tactile mode instead of braille mode. Have you ever seen real braille before, Allison?
I have, and it's absolutely a phenomenal resource. And I would call this a smartwatch. It is
Oh,
just,
yeah.
non-traditional smartwatch, but just what it brings to accessibility is absolutely phenomenal. Inclusion,
Yeah.
accessibility. I am all for this. This
Yeah.
is and it looks great.
Hmm.
So it's a wonderful, wonderful breakthrough, I would say.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the logistics of creating such a thing in such a small form factor.
yeah, that's what's really fascinating.
Hmm.
If you get a chance to go out and look this one up here, for the dot watch, they these are actually raised dots, just like Braille are. They come up and down in sequence to have words flow across the watch face. It's amazing to see this.
Hmm.
So yeah, I just fell in love with this. I'm like, man, should I get this? It's like $300. I don't know how to read
Wow.
Braille, but should I get it? I'm not going to get it. My wife would kill me. However, in
And I wonder if it will be like most technology, that it could be a little too expensive or inaccessible for many people, the majority of people even. And then as time goes on, it gets refined. The cost of it might go down at some point. So
Yeah,
that might
and
be
that's a really
something.
good point because everybody said that the iPhone was way too expensive at $600 when it first came out, and it dropped to 200 and it also went up to 1200. However, we can go to the moon. Back to our original story, we can go to the moon or Mars with the phone in our pocket now. We have enough technology there for that. Well, we always end up on one cool thing. Miss Allison, do you have any cool library thing to highlight today?
I do. So in the sphere of robotics and technology, I wanted to highlight that we over the past several months that we received a wonderful grant through PNC. It's called the Grow Up Great program, and it we have created these kits for early literacy, and they're designed to encourage computational thinking and processing in very small children, as small as toddlers, so quite young. They might not even be able to read yet, but these are through
Have
tactile
that available. Yeah.
size. Yes, so these are great kits that our branch libraries have. And when we are able to come back with our in-person programming and kids can get their hands on these kits, we will be continuing our commitment to engaging our communities and our children and their families in computational thinking, computer literacy, technological literacy,
Yeah.
digital literacy, all of that results in individuals and people coming together to create dot watches and to
Yes.
send these robots to Mars. So that's
And
absolutely
it's
that next generation.
and those are available to specific libraries, or are they going to be at?
I believe they're all of our libraries.
Oh, excellent. Okay, good, good, good.
Yes.
For those who we do some, if you go to your local library and ask, we have different kits at different places, depending upon the libraries for things. We have creation station spaces where you can come and get gear or come and use gear in normal times. And so they'll be good to have that we can have these scattered out through everywhere. They can pick them up curbside. You don't even need to come into a library. You'll be soon, they'll be available. Don't want to pin us down for a time frame on exactly when they will be
Right.
available soon, as they say, and we'll make that happen for you. Well, it was really nice having you today, Miss Allison. Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for
Bob.
taking some time out of your schedule to come hang out with us for a few minutes. Again, if you have any questions or ideas for us, if you want to see or highlight your favorite librarian or a favorite library, give us a call, give us a shout out, Creation Station at broward.org. We will see you next week. Thank you very much. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe.
Bye, folks.